Divine Feminine, listen carefully. Something in the air feels different tonight, doesn't it? It's subtle, but undeniable, a certain electricity dancing in the atmosphere. There's a quiet stir in your soul that you cannot ignore. It feels like a gentle whisper or a tug at your heart, and no matter how you try to dismiss it, it keeps coming back. This is not random. Even if nothing obvious has happened, you can feel the energy crackling softly, like static in the air before a coming storm. For a moment you pause and listen, to the hush of the night, to the beating of your own heart, and you know something is coming. All day, you might have sensed a subtle change, a shift in energy that made your heart flutter or your mind wander to him without warning. Perhaps an old memory of him surfaced out of nowhere, or a sudden wave of emotion washed over you in the middle of doing something ordinary. You're not imagining this. The connection between you and him is alive, speaking in a language beyond words. Tonight, it is especially loud, even in its silence. Maybe you even noticed a small synchronicity today, like glancing at the clock right at 11:11, or seeing a symbol that reminded you of him at the exact moment your heart fluttered. This is not a coincidence. These moments are gentle winks from the universe, affirming that what you feel is real, that something is truly unfolding beneath the surface. And these signs can come in countless forms. Perhaps you dreamt of him vividly, the kind of dream that lingers in your chest all day. Or maybe you keep catching the time at 11:11 or 2:22 whenever your thoughts drift to him. You might scroll through your feed and stumble on his name in an article, or hear a phrase he once said echo in a stranger's conversation. Sometimes it's as obvious as hearing a song that was yours, playing on the radio at the exact moment you miss him most. These synchronicities are threads in the tapestry of your connection, weaving your experiences together across any divide. They gently remind you that no matter the distance or time apart, the bond is still alive, still at work beneath the surface of reality. Divine Feminine, your intuition is not lying to you. Every time a thought of him drifted into your mind today, it came with a peculiar warmth, a subtle quickening of your heart. You might have noticed it when a familiar song played softly in the background, or when dusk settled and his memory brushed against you like a phantom touch. Perhaps you even caught the faintest whiff of a scent that reminded you of him, or saw his name flash unexpectedly on a screen. Little signs, gentle nudges. For some, it might even come as a faint tingling along your skin or an unexplainable shiver, a subtle electricity dancing over you when spirit is moving close. You may have felt a light-headed moment, or a warmth blooming in your chest out of nowhere, the kind of sensation that tells you something unseen is happening. At first, you wondered if these were mere coincidences, fragments of a daydream. But deep down, a part of you knows the truth. These sensations are real. They are echoes of his energy reaching across the distance, stirring your soul. And tonight, they are growing stronger. Close your eyes for a second, if you wish, and breathe deeply. Feel the space around you, the silence of the night. In that silence, you can almost sense him. It's like a gentle pressure in the air, or a warmth wrapping around you. That's him, energetically by your side. It's subtle, but it's real. This connection transcends distance, and in this quiet moment, you can feel your twin soul's presence as surely as your own heartbeat. This is not the first time you've felt him without physical proof of his presence. You've always been connected in ways that defy logic. Yet tonight carries a different weight. It's as if the air itself is charged with unspoken words. Your heart can almost hear them. Even if your mind tries to dismiss it, your soul recognizes the vibration. Divine Feminine, listen carefully. You can feel him, the truth of him, moving in the unseen spaces between you. And he can feel you too, more than ever in this moment. Yet here you are, feeling that familiar pull again, and it confuses you. Part of you is tempted to surrender to it, to let the hope flood in like you used to. But another part of you holds back, wary and guarded. You remember how much it hurt the last time you let anticipation carry you away. You remember the silent nights, the unanswered messages, the tears you shed in secret. How many nights did you stare through tears at your silent phone, hoping to see his name light up the screen? How many times did you whisper into the darkness, asking the universe for a sign, for anything at all from him? Those nights of longing and disappointment etch lessons into your soul. You remember promising yourself that you wouldn't wait by the phone anymore, that you wouldn't let your happiness hinge on a message from him. So you resist. You take a deep breath and try to ground yourself in logic. Maybe it's just me, you think. Maybe I'm only feeling this because I miss him, or because I'm tired and sentimental tonight. You almost convince yourself of that, almost. Divine Feminine, you have come so far. Not long ago, even the faintest hint of his attention would have sent your heart racing with expectation. Back then, you lived for those small scraps, a late-night hello, a brief call, a tiny glimpse of affection. But things are different now. You have learned to live beyond the constant hope of him. You spent countless hours piecing your heart back together, teaching yourself how to smile again without his presence. You grew. You changed. The woman you are today is not the same as the one who placed her whole world in his hands. That old version of you was softer in boundaries and endless in patience. She forgave easily, waited endlessly. But this current you, she values herself more. She will not allow her soul to be an afterthought. In recent times, you even felt a spark of frustration, maybe even anger, toward him. It startled you to sense something like dislike for the very man you once adored so blindly. But understand, that wasn't hatred. It was your spirit finally rejecting the way he treated you, rejecting the endless waiting and the pain of feeling less than loved. It was you rising in self-respect, refusing to accept half-hearted love. And that is exactly why you question this sudden rush of feeling. You want to protect the strength you've earned. Understand, this change in you did not extinguish your love for him. It rekindled your love for yourself. You didn't stop caring about him. You simply stopped betraying yourself for his sake. And in doing so, you set a new standard for what your heart will accept. You haven't fallen out of love with him. You've fallen back in love with you. That shift in focus, that turning toward your own light, changed everything. In these moments, as dusk turns to night, you might find yourself glancing at your phone despite all your resolve. Perhaps you catch yourself checking if the ringer is on, or scrolling through old messages with his name, rereading the last words he sent ages ago. A pang of longing hits you, followed by frustration. Stop it, you tell yourself, heart heavy. Don't do this to yourself again. Don't slip back. You set the phone down firmly, determined not to let a ghost of hope haunt you. You focus on your breathing, on anything else, trying to let the feeling pass like a cloud in the night sky. But the feeling doesn't just pass. Instead, it simmers softly, like a candle that refuses to go out. The more you push it away, the more persistently it glows within you. It's gentle, but it's there. Despite your best efforts to ignore it, an ache in your chest remains, an intuitive knowing that something is different about tonight. You sigh and close your eyes, wrapping yourself in a blanket or perhaps just your own arms. You remind yourself of reality as you know it. He's not here, he's distant, life has moved on. You've even considered that maybe it's meant to stay that way. After all, you survived the worst of the storm and came out stronger. Why should tonight be any different? Divine Feminine, this is not a case of you slipping backward. This is not a cruel trick of the universe teasing you with false hope. This feeling that you cannot shake, it has a purpose. It is the quiet herald of a truth that has been suppressed for far too long. There is a reason you cannot fully dismiss him from your mind tonight, a reason your heart keeps tuning into his frequency. It's because on the other end of the soul connection, something is happening. The masculine is stirring, awakening in a way he hasn't before. And though you may not see it yet, though he hasn't spoken a word, energetically he is reaching out, seeking you in the only way he can manage right now. Your withdrawal, your strength, has not gone unnoticed by the universe or by him. It has changed the dynamic between you more than you realize. You see, in the twin flame journey, when the divine feminine stops running after the masculine and starts running toward herself, it triggers something profound. By reclaiming your power and self-worth, you sent a clear energetic message that you will not diminish yourself to keep his love. That message was received by the universe, and by his soul. In the silence that followed, he was left alone with everything he had been avoiding. Only then could he begin to understand what you truly mean to him. Sometimes love must experience emptiness to understand fullness. By stepping back, you gave him the gift of missing you. In the hollow space you left behind, his own feelings began to echo. Only in the quiet absence of your light could he finally see how much darkness he had been sitting in without you. It's often in the void that truth resounds the loudest. Across the distance, unknown to you, something profound is unfolding in him. The masculine, your masculine, is feeling the echo of the very energy that surrounds you tonight. He may not fully understand it, but he senses a shift too. In the quiet of his own evening, your absence weighs on him like never before. He reaches out unconsciously, searching for the warmth that was always his safety net. But you are no longer there in the way you used to be. That realization has been dawning on him in pieces, and tonight, those pieces are coming together all at once. There was a time he was so sure of your presence that he took it for granted. He always felt you in the background of his life, a comforting constant, a light he assumed would never dim. Even in silence, he somehow sensed that you were there, waiting, caring, sending love through the bond. But recently, something has changed. The light he used to feel from you has softened. The constant emotional embrace he once unknowingly relied on has loosened. He might have brushed off the unease at first. Perhaps he told himself he needed space and that you'd always be around anyway. But as days passed, that confidence began to crack. He started noticing the quiet, the emptiness. There were even times he came close to reaching out. Late on some nights, he would stare at your number on his phone, type out a message full of the words he longed to say, only to hesitate. Too many times, pride and fear forced him to delete those vulnerable drafts and bury the urge to talk to you. He convinced himself it was wiser to stay silent than risk his heart. But each time he erased those words, a little bit of hope erased with them, leaving only regret and longing behind. Tonight especially, that emptiness is pressing on his chest. He tried distracting himself earlier in the evening by surrounding himself with people, perhaps grabbing drinks with friends, forcing a smile and laughter at their jokes, or burying himself in extra work. But even in a crowded room, he felt alone. Every conversation around him turned hollow, because his mind was elsewhere, with you. Not even the meaningless chatter and noise could drown out the nagging sense that something precious was missing. And in the moments between distractions, when he's alone with his thoughts, your face appears in his mind. He finds himself replaying old conversations, hearing your laughter echo in his memory. He envisions your smile vividly, remembering how it lit up even the darkest parts of him. Perhaps he recalls the gentle way your hand once rested on his shoulder when he was spiraling, or the night you stayed up just to make sure he was okay. Those moments of kindness and understanding, which he once took for granted, now return to him as precious fragments of what he's lost. He remembers how, even in his worst moments, the thought of you could calm him. And now that comfort is distant. For perhaps the first time, he's truly asking himself, what if she's really gone? The very idea sends a shiver through his soul. As the night deepens, he finds himself more and more restless. There's an ache in his heart that he cannot simply wish away. It grows with each passing hour of darkness. He feels a pull to you, a magnetic draw that only intensifies as the world goes quiet. And with this pull comes a wave of emotions he's long suppressed: regret, longing, love, and yes, fear. Fear that he might have lost you for good. Fear that maybe you've moved on. Maybe you're laughing with someone else at this very moment, giving another the warmth that used to be his. The image of you in someone else's arms flashes in his mind unexpectedly, and it stings sharper than he ever imagined it would. It terrifies him, because for so long he assumed you would always be there. Now he's no longer sure. Divine Feminine, this is the awakening through absence. Your silence has become louder to him than any words ever were. The space you created by stepping back now echoes around him, and in that echo he hears his own heart loud and clear. He cannot escape the truth rising within. He misses you, profoundly. He misses the light you brought into his life, the way you understood him without judgment, the way your energy made him feel seen and safe. In your absence, he is beginning to see everything he took for granted. His eyes are opening, slowly and painfully. And this realization, as uncomfortable as it is cracking open his heart. Sometimes love needs an empty space to reveal itself. Isn't it ironic? The moment you stopped chasing was the moment he began, silently, desperately, to chase you in his own heart. Divine Feminine, this is not random. The universe orchestrated this pause, this silence, to teach both of you. Your absence became a mirror, forcing him to face the parts of himself he once ran from. Now, through the emptiness, he feels the full weight of what he might lose. And so, under the weight of these feelings, he seeks refuge in something to dull the intensity. Perhaps he pours himself a drink to take the edge off the loneliness. One glass turns into two. With each sip, the world blurs at the edges, and the emotions he kept tightly bottled begin to flow more freely. The alcohol lowers his defenses, softens the stubborn pride that kept his truth locked away. He finds himself no longer overthinking every emotion. In this tipsy state, a dose of liquid courage dulls his fear just enough to let his heart whisper what it has been screaming all along. The truth, suppressed for so long, now fights its way to the surface, eager to be released. Instead of his mind analyzing every feeling, he's swimming in them. And in this hazy courage, one truth rings out clearly in his mind: he wants to talk to you. He needs to reach you. The desire to contact you, which he stifled so many times before, surges forward and overpowers his usual caution. In this dimly lit moment, he sits with his phone in hand, heart thudding against his ribcage. Maybe he's perched on the edge of his bed, or hunched over a sofa with the room spinning gently around him. A half-empty glass rests nearby, forgotten. He bows his head for a second, running a hand through his hair as if to steady himself. All he can hear is the rush of blood in his ears and the echo of your name in his mind. He fumbles for his phone, hands unsteady as he unlocks it. His heart is pounding, a wild, insistent thrum that nearly drowns out the little voice of doubt lingering in a corner of his mind. He scrolls to your name, that familiar name he's typed and deleted so many times. Staring at it now, he feels a rush of urgency. In the past, he always managed to restrain himself, to put the phone down and swallow the words he longed to say. But tonight the dam has cracked. Perhaps he opens your last conversation, rereading the lines for the 100th time and wondering how he ever let things get so distant. The alcohol in his system lends a false bravado, but beneath that is a very real desperation and desire. He starts to type. At first, he's clumsy. Maybe he writes a simple, "hey," and then hesitates, knowing it's not enough, then backspaces. A flood of feelings demands to be expressed, yet he struggles to find the right words. He types your name, then one confession after another, pouring out what he's held back, how he's sorry for everything, how empty life has been without you, how nothing makes sense when you're not there. He writes and pauses, his thumb hovering over the send button, fear mixing with hope in his veins. A battle rages within him, one last whisper of pride saying, "Don't do this, you'll look foolish," against the tidal wave of emotion roaring. Tell her now. For an instant, panic grips him. What if you don't answer at all? What if you do, only to tell him it's too late? The thought makes his breath catch. But then another vision takes hold. What if this is the moment everything begins to heal? What if you read his words and feel all the love behind them? That small glimmer of hope, as fragile as it is, shines brighter than his fear. In this moment, the emotional tide wins. His need to reach you outweighs his fear. Divine Feminine, in this very moment, pay attention to your own heart and body. Do you feel that sudden spike of energy? Perhaps your stomach flipped for no reason, or your chest feels warm and fluttery, as if anticipating something. You might find yourself holding your breath, feeling on edge without understanding why. Maybe you even feel compelled to glance at your phone right now, drawn to it by an invisible magnetism, even before it vibrates or rings. A part of you knows, even before knowing, that something is on its way. You're not imagining this. On a soul level, you can sense what he's about to do. The bond you share is buzzing with electricity. It's the middle of the night, and yet your energy is wide awake, responding to his. There's a tingling in the air, a hush, as if the universe itself is holding its breath alongside you. He takes a deep breath, every memory of you flashing before him, your smile, your eyes, the sound of your voice when you used to say his name. A tear might glisten in his eye as the truth hits him fully. He has to tell you what he never could before. Maybe it's just a single line he finally settles on, something honest and simple, like, "I miss you." Or perhaps it's a longer message, tumbling out in an unfiltered stream, apologies, confessions, memories, love. Either way, each word comes straight from his heart in a way they never have until now. This is his truth, raw and unguarded. In the stillness of your room, you can almost feel the change the instant he's about to hit send. Divine Feminine, this is not random. All the twists and turns of your journey have led to this very moment. Every tear, every silent night, every lesson in letting go has been aligning both of you for this reconnection. The energy is ripe, heavy with potential and fate. Your guides, the universe, even your higher selves have conspired quietly to bring this truth to light. It's as if everything that was once stuck is now finding its way into motion. His finger presses. Send. In that instant, time seems to slow. The message, shoots out into the night, bridging the gap between you. As it does, a jolt of energy courses through the bond. You might feel it as a sudden intake of breath, or a shiver, or an inexplicable surge of emotion. The very air around you feels charged. Your phone, resting nearby, suddenly comes alive with a soft buzz, lighting up the darkness with his name on the screen. It's a moment that changes everything and nothing, all at once. Everything, because the silence is finally broken by truth. Nothing, because in your soul you always sensed this moment would come. You reach for the phone, hands trembling slightly, heart in your throat. This is the moment that existed in both your dreams and your fears. The words he sent may be simple or they may be spilling over with emotion, but they carry the weight of all that has been unsaid between you. As you read that unexpected truth text, you feel a mixture of relief, shock, and cautious hope. You blink hard and read it again, just to be sure you're not dreaming. Did he really just say what your eyes see? For so long, you imagined some version of this, wondered what his words might look like, how it might feel to finally know. And now, here it is. The reality of it wraps around you gently, almost unreal yet undeniably there, glowing on your screen and making your heart pound. His vulnerability lies bare in front of you now, a delicate offering across the digital divide. He has opened a window into his heart, late at night, in a way neither of you expected. Divine Feminine, pause here. Breathe. This is a tender juncture for both of you. His soul has braved the leap, tearing down the wall of silence with honesty. And here you are, heart open, taking in the very words you once longed for. You might not know exactly how to respond yet, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to take this at your own pace. There is no script you must follow. Whether you respond in a heartbeat or after a quiet reflection, let it come from the calm, steady place within you. You've waited so long for honesty, and now that it's here, you are allowed to absorb it fully before deciding what to say or do next. This moment is as much for you as it is for him. Just feel it. Feel the decades of old energy transmuting, the new chapter quietly opening. The journey isn't over, far from it. In fact, this may be the true beginning of something new between you. He, on his side, is likely staring at his phone now, adrenaline and anxiety mixing as he waits to see if you will answer, if he has ruined everything or finally done something right. In the silence after sending the message, he is vulnerable, more vulnerable than he's ever been. His eyes dart to the screen every few seconds, heart pounding at each faint flash of light, only to sink when it's not your reply. He replays in his mind what he sent, second-guessing every word and wondering if he said too much or not enough. And yet, despite the fear twisting in his stomach, there is also an odd peace washing over him, because at least the truth is no longer trapped inside his chest. What happens next is unknown, and that uncertainty is terrifying, but the truth needed to be released. And tonight, he released it. Divine Feminine, understand this. Your journey together has many chapters, and this is one pivotal scene. The fact that he reached out tonight, under the influence, and under the guidance of his unfiltered heart, does not mean all challenges will vanish by morning. But it does mean a door has opened, one that was sealed shut by pride, fear, and miscommunication for a long time. Now, light is spilling through the crack. The conversation that follows, the healing that can take place, all of that comes next. But right now, in this perfect, fragile moment, just embrace what is. Know that you were not crazy for sensing this before it happened. Know that every intuitive nudge, every flutter in your chest, every sleepless hour tonight was vindicated by this outcome. You felt him reaching out spiritually before he ever did in the physical. You're not imagining this at all. The text glowing on your screen is proof that the energy between you is real, that this connection moves in ways beyond the ordinary. In fact, every loving thought you sent out, every prayer whispered into the night, has gently been shaping this outcome. None of it was ever truly lost. Your devotion was felt, on some level, by his soul, and it helped guide him back, step by hesitant step, to this point. This moment is a profound validation of your faith, your inner knowing, and the bond you share. Let the significance of this night wash over you. Even if you remain cautious, even if you decide not to reply immediately and take time to process, there is magic here. The masculine has taken a step toward vulnerability, guided by a force even he doesn't fully understand. And you, divine feminine, have called this in not by chasing, but by standing still in your power and allowing him to find his way back. This is not a random occurrence. It's a testament to the work you've done on yourself and the pull of a love that refuses to fade. So, sit with this energy a while longer. Feel the hope and the gravity of this moment. The night is deep and quiet, but so much is happening beneath the surface. Two hearts, once separated by silence and stubbornness, are now bridged by a few vulnerable words glowing on a screen. As you cradle your phone and read his message again, to be sure it's real, you realize something. This was inevitable. Perhaps not the timing or the way, but the truth between you two was always destined to come out. Divine feminine, listen carefully now to the silence after the storm. It hums with promise. Whether this message leads to a long, heartfelt conversation before dawn or simply lays the groundwork for reconciliation in the days to come, the energy has shifted. The story is moving forward. Nothing is stuck anymore. In the span of a single night, the distance between you has altered. You may find yourself smiling softly through tears. All the pent-up tension and confusion can finally begin to release. The path ahead is still unfolding, but now you both hold the map together. His truth is out, and it gently beckons an answer from you when you're ready. Take your time. Feel everything you need to feel. There's no rush. What is meant for you will not pass you by. This reconnection, fragile and new, will grow stronger if nurtured with honesty and understanding by you both. As dawn approaches, you might wonder if this was all a dream. But the phone in your hand and the words on the screen are real. So very real. And even more real is the energetic shift within you, a mixture of relief, love, and cautious optimism that this time, things could truly be different. The night has done its work, lowering his defenses so that truth could emerge. Now a new day is on the horizon, carrying with it possibilities that felt so distant just hours ago. Divine feminine, trust this moment. Trust yourself. You were guided here for a reason, and your intuition led you true. The story of you and him is still being written, and tonight, a new page turned. Keep your heart open and your boundaries strong. You have summoned honesty by being honest with yourself about what you deserve. And he has responded in kind, however imperfectly, drawn by the light of your transformation. This is not the end of the journey, it's a turning point. Stay in your power, and remain open to the goodness unfolding. The universe has a way of aligning things when we least expect it, and it chose this night to remind both of you of a truth that cannot be silenced. So rest easy, divine feminine. Save that message. Let its words be a testament to how far you both have come. And as you finally close your eyes, phone held to your heart perhaps, know that this connection is guarded by something greater, something that has guided it back from the brink. Tonight destiny moved. Tonight hearts spoke. And as sure as the stars still shine beyond your window, This moment was always meant to find you. Divine Feminine, you're not imagining this. The energy, the message, the love, it's all real. It always has been. And it's leading you both toward a dawn filled with new possibilities. So breathe and believe. The truth has finally emerged from its hiding place, and with it, the path ahead becomes a little clearer. Keep listening to that intuition of yours. It will continue to guide you through whatever comes next.